addresses, which is available through public domain. So because of that ad, Joe, overnight, President of the United States saying we're not talking to Canada, our neighbor to the north, anymore. He's very upset about that. Those are Reagan's words. Yes, edited. Things do get edited. We can go back to Reagan's comments about immigration. There are a lot of things we can call back to the man who was the touchstone for generations for conservatism.
Well, you know, yesterday we had a wide-ranging discussion about dorks and nerds, and I'm enough of a dork and a nerd that around 3:30 this morning, I listened to the entire address. And it was an April 25th, 1987 radio address. It's on YouTube. And I have absolutely no idea what the Reagan Foundation is talking about, because those words in that Canadian ad were directly from that April 25th, 1987 address that is up on YouTube. And the bizarre thing is that in their statement, they directed dorks and nerds like me to YouTube to see that the Canadian ad reflected Reagan's feelings about tariffs 100%. And here is a direct, unedited clip from that address that sounds just like the Canadian ad. Roll it, TJ.
So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity.
It's all there. Willie, it's all there. Everything Ronald Reagan said, all the clips that were in that Canadian ad, that Ottawa ad, were all there in the address. It's really a very bizarre turn of events. Yesterday, Donald Trump said, well, I would have done the same thing if I were them. I understand why they did it. Then I don't know if somebody called the Reagan Foundation and said, hey, we need you to attack this ad. But they're attacking not only Reagan's words, but the foundation of Reagan's views on tariffs. He believed short-term tariffs were fine, but long-term tariffs, as he just said, wrecked the economy and would cost millions of people their jobs.
Yeah, it's strange. It's one thing for President Trump, we've come to expect that to misrepresent things, but for the Reagan Foundation itself to come out kind of in support of that argument is odd, as you say. And Jonathan Lemire, this just dropped overnight. President of the United States in a Truth Social post saying, yeah, we're done talking to Canada because my feelings were hurt about this ad, which, as Joe just laid out and we played, you could hear it, you could see it, you can go on YouTube yourself if you don't believe and watch. It's what former President Reagan said.
It's what former President Reagan said, and our current president is so easily triggered that a TV commercial can change international policy, trade policy, foreign policy. I mean, it's sort of an extraordinary encapsulation of where things are right now for this administration. And there's a lot of focus on tariffs and trade right now. The president later today heads to Asia. He'll meet with Xi Jinping while in Korea on the sidelines of a summit there, the Chinese trade deal. And that's been pretty tense at times. They hope to work on that. You know, obviously we're waiting on the Supreme Court to make a decision whether all of these tariffs are legal in the first place. But Mika, right. This is the president of the United States throwing a fit over an ad. And we should note the timing of this is pretty remarkable, because what else he gets angry about this today. What's tonight? Tonight is game 1 of the World Series. Where is that game being played? Toronto, Canada.
Oh boy.
So there's going to be let's watch the American national anthem likely get booed tonight, like it was during that hockey tournament earlier in the spring. Yeah. But this is going to set at the exact moment where we should be celebrating our friendship with Canada. This happens.
Okay. And secondly, Joe needs to get some sleep. Like, seriously, what are you doing? We're talking about Trump tweeting in the middle of the night or whatever. He's up at 3:30 looking at Reagan speeches. It's not good for you.
It's very compelling. I mean, who among us is not awakened in the middle of the night and said, let me listen to a Ronald Reagan radio address from 1987. I think we all do that, right?
You need to take the magnesium that I gave you. There's only one that works.
Now, that stuff does not work.
No, it totally does.
No.
Across the board, I'm getting rave reviews, except from you.
I start talking I start talking like Pablo Torre. I don't want to sound like that.
Well, I know.
God.
That's an issue. We'll get to that later.
Issue.
It's a big issue. I hope he's okay. I don't know.
He's not.
So we'll have him later. Katty Kay, this unpredictability.
You know, he's a Luddite. You know that? You know, Pablo is a Luddite, Mika. I mean, he doesn't like our Jonathan Lemire and our supercomputer. He doesn't like AI. I think he's probably scared of light bulbs in his own house. He probably turns around and sees one and goes, ah!
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they
Very
put
strange guy.
shades over them for Pablo. It's all right. It's okay. Everyone's different. Okay, so
now for something completely different.
This unpredictability, though, that's part of what we've seen from this president. At the same time, as he's making waves and making big changes in some regions of the world for the positive, I'm looking at the Middle East and is trying to figure out how to manage Ukraine. This unpredictability